excited, everyone. Today I'm here with Sue B. Zimmerman, known as an Instagram expert. She's phenomenal. She just wrapped up a Creative Live course, and she is better known as Instagal Live. You can check her out, hashtag Instagal Live on Instagram. I'm so happy to have her here today. How are you, Sue?
I'm great. I'm outside. I'm doing this great interview. I'm excited to do this, so let's get at it.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you as an expert interview for my new book. And we're also going to be featuring this as a podcast and a video on YouTube. So we're ready to get started. Are you?
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Okay, so what can you tell me about Instagram and why small businesses and entrepreneurs should be on the platform?
Okay, so I always say if you are in business and you have a pulse, you absolutely should be on Instagram. And the reason I say that is because I am a small business owner. I also have a retail store on Cape Cod, and I have learned from experience of using all the different social media platforms that Instagram is the one where you can tell your visual story very easily, very quickly, and get insanely amazing results. Results meaning engagement, attracting your ideal follower, and converting them into a paying client or customer.
Great. And how easy is it for someone to get started?
Honestly, it's just downloading the free app, and you really need to put together a visual strategy before you just jump in. I teach that and I coach that, and everyone initially, a lot of business owners are on Instagram personally, and they don't understand the value and the impact it could have on a business. And once I get through teaching and coaching, they understand that they probably should either convert it just to a hyper-focused visual content strategy on their personal account or open up a featured account. And a featured account is one where you just simply feature the content that you are known as. So for example, the Instagram expert account, which I have on Instagram, I only share tips, tools, and strategies on how to use Instagram to grow your brand. And that's one of my 6 different Instagram accounts.
Okay, so you have your main brand, but you have these different Instagram accounts to highlight different things.
Yeah, so I have my personal account, Sue B. Zimmerman, and ironically enough, that account is where I have my most followers because I started that first. And then I realized from all of my research and teaching and honestly results that I was getting that I really needed to extract out content from other areas that I had interest in. So my store on Cape Cod is called Suebdo, Suebdo. So I created a Suebdo.Cape Cod account because anyone who loves the Cape, the Vineyard, or Nantucket, or quite frankly New England, would be interested in following that account. But it prior to setting that up, I had all that visual content in my Sue B. Zimmerman account, and it just got mishmashed with my dog and my kids and my vacation photos.
Right.
And it wasn't a visual story that was compelling and interesting to look at when you went to my feed. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. It didn't really tell one cohesive story. It
Right.
just kind of told ideas, maybe.
Right.
Okay, great. So I want to talk to you about something that a lot of people seem to be having a little trouble with, especially small businesses, because they really don't have the time to learn another tactic, hashtags. So I want to talk to you about this. Okay, so tell me a little bit about hashtags and how can a business, an entrepreneur, know which hashtags they should be using? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so a lot of people do not understand hashtags, which is interesting to me because they're live on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and one of my new favorite platforms, Google+. And it's important for you, basically if you think of them as keywords that are searchable, it makes it easy to put together a hashtag strategy, and that's what I call it. And by the way, I do have a download Get Your Hashtag On ebook that I sell off my website, which for anyone that needs a resource guide, it's a really great one with over 30 different categories, the most popular categories with the most popular hashtags. We did a ton of research to compile that. But to go back to the hashtag strategy, it starts at the hierarchy starts at in a broad place,
Okay.
and then you niche it down. So, for example, I'm going to use my store, Subidu, as an example. So my store is located on hashtag Cape Cod in hashtag Mashpee. That's the town.
Okay.
And it's situated in hashtag New Seabury, which is the community at large. And then the store is in hashtag Pomponesset Marketplace.
Wow.
So when I curate visual content for hashtag Subidu, I always have all 4 plus Subidu 5 of those hashtags in the secondary comments, not the primary comments, which we can talk about in a minute.
Okay.
And then I also have relevant hashtags for the visual content that you are looking at. So if you are looking at a nautical piece of jewelry with an anchor on it, because I sell a lot of anchors and a lot of starfish, you would then also hashtag starfish, hashtag anchor, hashtag necklace, and maybe even hashtag OODT, outfit of the day, or some version thereof. And you get to know what the really popular hashtags are that are being searched daily.
Okay.
But the ones that are more nichey to your establishment, and it doesn't need to just be a brick and mortar. This is for service-based businesses too. And I'm going to say that because I have one, and I have recently attracted a huge client doing this. And we can talk about it in a minute. But the hashtags, I recommend writing down 30 and putting them in notes on your iPhone. And you should have different categories for different types of visual content that you're sharing. So for example, Vickie, when you're doing a podcast interview, your hashtags for that interview would look very differently than if you're doing something where you're working with a client that you're coaching.
Okay.
So you would have, I have at least 20 different hashtag categories all queued up, ready to go in notes, so that I can simply just double tap, copy, tap, and paste in my description on the iPhone. So I'm never typing a hashtag in a misspelled way, which often happens when our fingers are moving too fast on the iPhone.
That's smart, because I love autocorrect on the iPhone.
Yes.
So yeah, so what you would do is create a note for a particular niche.
Yeah, for a particular, so I have hashtag strategies, whether I'm uploading for Vickie Zimmerman or the Instagram expert, and now the Instagal Live that you can see here is another account of mine. And then I have the Daily IG, the .daily.ig, which is where I share inspirational quotes from thought leaders, speakers, entrepreneurs, and that, that's the only content that I share there. So for me, obviously managing a lot of different accounts, I'm not going to say it's challenging, because we have it down to a science, me and my team, but it's important to know which hashtags are relevant for which content. I think that's the biggest message I'm trying to get across here.
Right, and I think it's good to know that you do your research up front and you keep all of those in a note on your phone, so that when you're ready to go to it, you just copy and paste it simply into the secondary comments on your post on Instagram. Is that correct?
Yes. Do you want me to say what? Do you want me to explain why in the secondary?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So when you post your initial post on Instagram and you write a description, it's okay to use 1 or 2 hashtags, especially if you have a custom hashtag. So this hashtag, Instagal Live, is my hashtag that I created. And the reason I have that sometimes in my initial description is because when you tap on that hashtag, you see all the other visual content with that hashtag. And it's not a hashtag like girl or something so broad like love. So it's very specific to me. And by putting it in my description, people know that it's relevant to me. However, if you're trying to get more followers, really attract the ideal follower, you put hashtags in the secondary comment. Again, you can use up to 30, not always recommended to use all 30, but you can start that way if you're starting to build your account. And after that, I say 8 to 10 is fine. And then the really cool thing, Vickie, is that you can swipe the contents and bring them back to life by adding them later. So I've done that on posts where a month ago they were amazingly engaged posts that I did, and I want to bring it back to life. So I will delete the hashtags that are in the secondary comment, and I will refresh them with hashtags. And if anyone needs to understand how to do this, I do have a YouTube channel, Vickie Zimmerman, and I have a playlist of how-tos, and how to delete a comment is on there, so people can reference that.
Nice, nice. So you would delete a comment. I'm sorry, that was so quick and it was so chock full of information. When you delete a comment, you're refreshing it in another post?
No, when you delete it, because hashtags move so quickly.
Okay.
And so when you go to search it, and if a lot of people are using the same hashtag, it's going to get moved down the feed, just like it does on Twitter and just like it does on Facebook. And so if you want to be brought up to the top of the feed again, you need to refresh it.
Gotcha.
So you would swipe it, delete it, and then add them again.
Okay. Now I gotcha. Okay. Excellent. Excellent tip. That's such a great tip. Wow, that was a lot on hashtags.
Yeah.
Up to 30, don't recommend 30, but you should definitely be on top of it and saving them in your notes. What a great time-saving tool.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I want to ask you about enhancing your photos, because when I took your Creative Live course, Sue, it was amazing. And it was just all about Instagram marketing. So I'm a marketer. Didn't really know too much about Instagram, so that's why I'm so excited to bring you to my audience and to feature you as an expert. I want to ask you about the tools that you use to enhance your photos, is particularly with text and making them more of a story than just a photograph. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I have a lot of apps that I have downloaded, but I always go to my favorite 3 or 4 apps that I use, partly because I'm so proficient at using them now.
Right. But
there are so many. There are free apps, there are apps that you pay for, and I'm just pulling up my phone, Vickie, because I'm going to open up, I'm going to talk about my favorites, but I'm going to also give some people other options. And a lot of people always ask me about the Android, which is, I've been an iPhone user my whole life, so I'm not as versed on giving information for the Android user, but I do know that there are a ton of great Android apps as well.
Sure.
So I'm looking at my phone, because on my phone, here's a little trick for people as well. I'm super organized in my iPhone. I have everything in folders. I have an Instagram folder with all of my apps, so I know how to find them quickly. And then right next to that folder is my notes, so that I can really play off notes and apps quickly and be very, very efficient with how I'm posting. Again, Instagram, you get the best bang for your buck meaning time, by being really efficient and effective using the app. And I spend probably at most 15 minutes a day posting, but I will be honest, now that I'm more quote unquote famous in teaching Instagram, or more of an expert, I should say, I'm on there much more engaging because I have so many fans and followers that are asking me questions. So I get in there so that I can always give valuable content back and just give insight to their questions. But back to the app. So my favorite of all favorites is WordSwag, and I had them on Creative Live. Ben Wong is from New York City. He's the app developer who I actually DM'd on Twitter and asked him if he would be part of my Creative Live show. And when he said he had family in San Francisco and that he'd love to be a part of it, I was thrilled. Now, Vickie, at the time that I asked him, he only had the WordSwag app, and since then he developed the Video Hance app, which he gave a demonstration for, which was unbelievable on how to use video. And I do use a lot of video also, but his app is so user friendly and the editing tools are amazing. So my go-to text overlay app is absolutely WordSwag. Now, there are another one that I do like a lot is called Rhonna, RHONNA, and that's really artsy and creative. And and you can really add a lot of different elements with that app. So I like that one a lot. A lot of people talk about Overgram as an app. I don't use Overgram, but a lot of people like it. I've tried it maybe once. I don't use it religiously, is what I should say. And then Font Maker is another one. But, WordSwag for sure is my number one go-to for text. And I also have Diptyque that I love, but you can add text overlay on Diptyque as well too. So those are the two that I would reference, but I just want people to know that there are so many apps, and you need to find out which is the best one for you, and know that there are free apps. You don't have to spend money downloading an app, but quite frankly, $1.99 or $2.99 to me is like an amazing value for having the opportunity to curate really great, compelling visual content.
Absolutely, because it puts the tools in your bag, and it makes your smartphone so much more powerful when you have these tools that you don't have to take the photo off, bring it to your desktop, do your editing, back to your phone to share it. It makes it totally easy. Now, I will speak to the tools that you recommended, the WordSwag, Rona, Diptyque. Particularly Diptyque, I'm going to talk about for 1 second, because before Diptyque that you introduced me to, and I'm so grateful, I was using Instacollage. Now, Instacollage is also a great app if you want to include more than one photo in a visual story. So you can have a post on Instagram, right, that you create in Diptyque, that has more than one photo, and it just adds a story, takes more than one picture together and creates a collage. Now, Instacollage that I was using doesn't allow you to add the text. At least I don't believe that it does. So Diptyque is so much more powerful, because if I can add a story, oops, sorry about that. If I can add a story, then it's going to be so much more powerful. I'm not talking about like a whole paragraph of text, but just one word even can mean so much more.
Yeah, so for me, Vickie, 8 years ago, I was teaching scrapbooking. I was on QVC teaching crafters how to scrapbook with their photos and embellish them. And the whole concept of visual storytelling on a page when you're scrapbooking is the concept of Diptyque. So it was such a natural place for my brain to embrace the app, because I could easily put together the story. You literally can give people 4 to 6 snapshots of what you're doing if you're trying to tell a story. So one of my more recent posts that I made was with Caroline White, who's a photographer. She is from my Marie Forleo B School community, and she was visiting here close by, and we got together and we snapped a ton of photos. And the one that I posted with like 6 of us tells a story basically about how much fun we're having together taking pictures versus just one. And so Diptyque, hands down, is a great way to tell a story without all the words in the description.
Yes, I totally agree. And one thing that I want to also touch upon is your use of videos. You do a phenomenal job of creating these visual stories with your photographs. You have your hashtag. I love the one right behind you. And you can see mine right behind me too, my Say Wow license plate. Oops. So I want to talk a little bit about video, because you gave me some tools that have changed my business approach to Instagram. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about the videos that you create on Instagram, because people may not be aware that you can also do that.
Yeah, so a lot of people aren't aware. You're right about that. So right within the app, you can do stop and go videos. And I absolutely love using it, especially at my store when I'm trying to tell a story with my customers that are shopping. So I might get someone give me a little testimonial and then go over to the product and then back to someone walking out of the door of the store, or some little story of what just happened. So right in the app, you can quickly and easily create a stop and go video, and you can also edit it one take back if you don't like what you just recorded. And we demonstrated this on Creative Live, which was really fun. And you only have 15 seconds, and quite frankly, everyone has 15 seconds to watch a video. People don't always have 2 to 5 minutes to watch a YouTube video, or and so when they're scrolling through Instagram, they see that it's a video because the little white camera is on the upper right-hand corner.
Yes.
And people are there for a break, for visual entertainment. So a 15-second video is something they can digest. So that is the first form of video that I would suggest trying and checking out. Separately, I love Flipagram. I love Flipagram because you basically upload photos that you've taken and then you tell a story. In addition, on the cover photo of Flipagram, you can have a title. So it's like, again, having a photo album with a title of that album, and people watch it. And depending on how many images you upload to the Flipagram, it goes slower or faster. And again, you have 15 seconds. So having more than 15 images, they're going to flip faster than a second per image.
Right.
What I love about Flipagram is that you can upload your music. So you get the energy of music as the background to listening to this little ditty of your video story.
Yeah.
And then the third app, of course, is now, for me, it used to be Pick, Play, Post, which took me a while to do all the editing in that, but I still liked the app. But now I've converted to VideoHance because I think it's even that much better and does virtually the same things, but with more enhancements and transitions and all kinds of cool things.
Excellent, excellent. I want to go back to Flipagram for a second because what you taught me, I was applying yesterday.
I saw it. I saw.
So I had a social media presentation that I gave, and there was a lot that was going on at that event. So I wanted to, take the photos that sometimes I wasn't able to just produce a video, even though it's easy, stop and go, 15 seconds, I couldn't do it all the time. So it was easier just to snap a photo for myself. And people were using my phone when I was presenting to take photos of me presenting. I wasn't doing a selfie while I was presenting. So there's also an opportunity to add music that is not your own, but they give you these 30-second previews that are popular music that you can then buy on iTunes. And I thought that was just amazing. So I was able to, I just clicked, I said, what is this about? So I was able to put Farrell, what's his name? Happy.
The Happy Dance?
Yeah, Happy
yeah.
Guy, Farrell.
Yeah.
Something Farrell. I can't think of his name, and I will, and I'll smack myself. So I was able to put that very popular song, Happy, so get people dancing. So that's something that you can also check out, like just to check out the music they get you, because guess what? You can buy it on iTunes when you're done if you like it. So they're monetizing, right?
Right.
So it's great. I want to talk to you a little bit more about monetization of your own business if you're a small business or entrepreneur on Instagram. Do you have any tips on that for monetizing on Instagram?
Yeah, well, what's so exciting, Vickie, is after I did Creative Live and over 12,000 people saw it all over the world, I've been getting inundated with comments and success stories. And the success stories I'm going to focus on here are to the artisans and the creators out there, is that they are learning how to make money doing what they love by simply sharing their content in a very artistic, visually compelling way where people want to see it and then they want to buy it. And on Instagram, you have one URL in your bio where you can lead people to either purchase what you're creating. In a lot of cases, it's an Etsy store, or it's your opt-in page if you're trying to grow your list, or it's your Twitter page if you're trying to get more followers. You can really lead them wherever you want and change that. So if you're sharing what you love and you're getting engagement and comments, I mean, I live for the comments more than the likes, because that's where I know what I'm sharing is what people want to see more of.
Right.
Then you can have a conversation. And we didn't talk about this yet, but I'll bring it up here. On Instagram, you can direct message up to 15 people at a time. So what I do daily, or at least my team, I have to say now, is I get about 20 plus new followers a day. And we DM them and thank them for being a new follower. And then we send them through my text responder a number to text to get a free download of my top 10 things to do on Instagram. And so they need to give me their email in order to get that.
Okay, so you DM them and ask them for an email?
No, I DM them and I thank them for being a new follower.
Okay.
I say, if there's anything I can help you with, let me know. So I always lead with giving first.
Right.
And then I say, if you want to learn the top 10 things to do on Instagram, text this number.
Oh.
And once they text it, it sets up a whole auto response on their phone where they give their email if they want the content. So for me, it's a lead capture.
Sure.
Through new followers.
That's interesting.
And so my list has grown exponentially from this system that we have in place. And a lot of people don't think that you can use Instagram to grow your list. And you can if you use it in a way where you're giving something of value to your new followers. And so I honor my new followers and connect with them on a daily basis.
Yes, you do. So is there a limit to how many people you can DM?
15 at a time. You can do 1, 2, or up to 15. And I often have private messages with people on Instagram instead of via text or via Facebook.
Okay.
I keep all the conversation in Instagram. I do this knowing that they understand how to use DM. A lot of people don't understand how to use it yet because it's relatively new.
Right.
But it's a great tool if you have a strategy on how to stay connected to your new followers and your super fans and the people that are commenting on your posts.
Right, sure. And especially if you're monetizing, do you use the geolocation at all when you're doing
the geotagging. Yes, absolutely. So I use it whenever I'm speaking and traveling and let people know where I am, because a lot of times people will say, oh my goodness, you're in Toronto. I live in Toronto. Can I meet you for coffee? Can I meet you?
Right.
So I let people know where I am when I'm traveling and speaking. I also use it basically for every post at Subidoo so people know how to get to my store. So when you geotag a post, it literally takes you into maps and gives you the location of where you're geotagging from. The really cool thing is when your customers geotag their Instagram posts, because then their photos become part of your user-generated content, UGT, and they are compiled in your geotag. So I love seeing when my customers are just taking Instagram photos, and we encourage every customer that walks through the door, follow us on Instagram, let's take a picture, don't forget to geotag, hashtag Subidoo. We go through the whole process, and then I end up, what's so funny, Vickie, is a lot of people end up hiring me to coach them from my store because they're like, okay, I need to understand Instagram. But yeah, so geotagging can definitely be used strategically. I do want to say right here that if you have a home-based business and you geotag anything, it will bring people right to your location. So you need to be careful for privacy issues if you don't want people to know where you live.
Yes, absolutely. And I've had that experience, and I'm so glad that you brought that up. Because I work from a home office and I love taking pictures, and we took a couple pictures today before this interview, and we're going to post them up on Instagram. I just need to be careful that I remove the geolocation from those photos. So how would somebody be able to do that if they wanted to be careful?
Okay, so you don't remove the geolocation when you use Instagram and you upload a photo. You can choose a geolocation if you want to. So it's not that it automatically does the geolocation. You get to be proactive and say geotag, and when you do click on the geotag location, it pulls up 20 to 30 locations in the vicinity of where you are.
Okay.
So like I live near the lovely woods in Wellesley where I walk my dog, so often I'll let that be the geotag instead of my house.
Right.
So, as long as it's not literally your house, I think you're fine. And you can have it be something close by within like a 2 to 5 mile radius.
Okay. I'm glad you spoke to that.
Yeah.
So Sue, this has been so tremendously helpful, recapping some of the things that I learned from you as a monster in Instagram marketing. I just wanted to find out from you how people can find out more information about you and what's coming next.
Yeah, so let me point people to a couple places. It's kind of a big list, Vicki, but it's in the interest of what I think will be helpful to your
Absolutely.
listeners. So I have a free group on on Facebook called Instagram Results, where there's over 2,000 people in the community, and everyone is a champion for each other's success and answers questions if people have them. I jump in there occasionally and comment as well. It's just I'm building this great Instagram community on Facebook. I also have a course called Insta Results. It's on my website, Subi Zimmerman. And by the way, when you sign up for my list, I give you a download of the 7 things not to do, especially if you have a business, on Instagram. So that's my PDF that I give to people for the list. But on the website, I have different services that I offer, whether it's coaching or doing an Insta bio for you or buying the course. And my course is a little under 3 hours. It's an amazing course. I've done exceedingly well with this course. I've poured my heart and soul into it. And anyone who's really looking to explode their business on Instagram, I highly suggest the Insta Results course. And I also have my YouTube channel that I mentioned where I have a playlist. And then I do occasional slide shares over at slideshare.net, where I have over 63 slides, how-to slides, all little sound bites and actionable, digestible tips and tools to do. Because people like to just take a minute or two, learn something, and then actually implement, as opposed to sitting down for hours to learn something. So my SlideShare account is a place to get some free information as well. And then, of course, on Instagram, I would love to see you follow me at Subi Zimmerman, and the account that is the most valuable is at the Instagram Expert. And if you are a creator or love Creative Live, my new account at the Instagal Live is just such, honestly, Vicki, of all my 6 accounts, this one is the one that is where my super fans and my strongest community of followers are. And I'm really just so grateful that it exploded in 3 days.
Absolutely, because I'm a part of that community, so I can vouch for that.
You see it,
The
yeah.
Creative Live audience is an audience of people who just are hungry to learn. They're hungry for value and great content. And Sue, you certainly are that.
Thank
completely.
you.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what podcast episode this is going to be. I'm not sure what YouTube video this is going to be, when it's going to be available, or how long we've even been going on, if I need to divide it into 2 parts, because this was just such a phenomenal interview. And I thank you so much, Sue.
Thanks. I enjoyed it. You know me, I love talking about Instagram.
I know that. And I love hearing about it, and I love sharing your ideas. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.